Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to look at the chart for Bernie Madoff. May he rest in peace. He just passed away a short time ago on April 14th, 2021 in prison for serving 150 years for the biggest Ponzi scheme that ever was conceived. If you look at the Eastern horizon using the sidereal zodiac, Vedic astrology, you see the Leo rising at 5 degrees and 49 minutes. This becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet like Rahu and Ketu, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury have a lot of impact in the chart. So let's look and see how the planets are operating, and then we'll look at certain events when the planets were operating, and then we can see what could be done to improve the quality of the chart. So let's first see where the Muldrakona signs are. We have Cancer ruled by Moon in the 12th house. So Moon becomes a functional malefic. It can cause harm, as well as Rahu and Ketu, the eclipse planets. And then let's look at the rest of the Muldrakona signs, because there will be indicating what he's to learn about in this lifetime. So we have Sun in ruling Leo in the first house. So he's learning about his life purpose on this planet, learning about self-esteem, reputation, name, and fame. Then we have Virgo, ruled by Mercury in the second house of speech, wealth, and continuation of the marital bond. He did get a divorce, had very persuasive yet deceptive speech, and a lot of wealth. Then we have Libra, ruled by Venus in the house of entrepreneurial success. Huge amount, but it was all taken away. Then we have Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter in the fifth house, so creativity through investments. And then we have Aquarius, ruled by Saturn in the seventh house of partnerships and learning about partnerships. And then we have Aries, ruled by Mars in the house of good fortune and morality. And then we have, again, Cancer, ruled by Moon, learning about spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. So now let's look at the planets individually. So we have Sun at 15 degrees, it's exalted, and it is placed in the ninth house of good fortune and morality. And it gave him great, his life purpose and his good fortune came through his leadership skills and government support. And then we have Moon at 9 degrees, and remember it's functional malefic, close to the most effective point. It gave some losses in terms of imprisonment. It actually afflicts the ninth house of morality, so it weakened his morality. And it did also bring some success with the public, loss with the public trust. The public very much trusted him, and then in the end, he lost that trust. Now, Moon is connected to kidneys and heart issues, so there's some weakness there. He was very detached from his emotions in some ways, that he let this scheme, Ponzi scheme, go so long without actually telling anyone the truth. Mars is at 11 degrees, ruling that house of good fortune, and that is also the house of morality and legal issues, finances. It's conjunct Venus, So in the career house, and Venus is afflicted by K2. So Mars is maybe one of his better planets, except for the fact that it has a malefic moon in its house. It gave him, again, good fortune through courage and passion to devise such a Ponzi scheme and be able to convince other people to be a part of it. Very charismatic person. Mercury's at 3 degrees, close to the most effective point, and it is in this house of good fortune, ruling the house of wealth and speech. So it gave him influential, persuasive speech. But because it's in this house of that's afflicted, it the speech was very deceptive and fraudulent. Then we have and then we have Jupiter is ruling the house of investments and children, and it is placed in the house of partnerships, which is ruled by Saturn, which is sitting in this house of secrets, other people's money. So he made his fortune through his partnerships with his investors, which was other people's money, not based on collateral as we know it in terms of property or businesses. So it supported his rise until the end when he came into his K2 and Jupiter period, which exposed the fraud and his weak morals. Jupiter itself is connected to morality and growth. Venus is at 6 degrees, close to the most effective point, and it is ruling this house of entrepreneurial success in business through banking. It's afflicted by Rahu and K2. So Venus is also connected to kidney. He did have kidney failure. And it is also this house of younger siblings. So his brother is still embroiled in all the legal issues because of his older brother. Saturn's at 18 degrees. It's in this house of other people's money, ruling the house of partnerships. And this is also the house of secrets and challenges. And so it connects that with the partnerships. It is somewhat mollified by the fact that he did participate in lots of different charities. Rahu and K2, this is probably the worst part of the chart. They're close to the most effective point. So that means that they afflict the houses they're in and then 5, 7, and 9 houses away. So 6 out of the 12 houses would be afflicted and cause harm at some point. So it affects the 4th house of family. He did get a divorce, family, and happiness. Then it afflicts the 2nd house of speech and wealth, and continuation of the marital bond. He did get a divorce. The 10th house of career, karma, lost everything, and including his reputation. And the 8th house of challenges with other people's money, and then the 6th house of health. And he had this kidney issue and divorce and legal issues that are all connected with the 6th house. So now let's look at the timing of events. He started his business in 1960 during a sun period, gave a good boost to the rise of the business until he was arrested in 2008 during a Jupiter K2 period where everything turned around. So he's in this period of growth, and then all of a sudden it becomes a K2 sub period where that's connected to his spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. So he had to come clean. There was a financial crisis. A lot of people wanted their money out. didn't have the money to pay them. So he confessed to his sons and then was arrested. Now, at that point, Mars was afflicted by Moon. It was combust. So his good fortune turned around. And K2 was also afflicting Saturn, which is this death-like experiences and longevity. His son committed suicide during a Jupiter period. Jupiter is the Karaka for children. He died in, again, April 14th, 2021. And that was during a Saturn Mercury period. So Saturn is the indicator for longevity. It's in the house of longevity. And if we look at the transit chart here, the outer circles where the planets were when he died and the inner circles where the planets were when he was born, you see that Rahu is afflicting 9 houses away within a degree Saturn. And Saturn is sitting in the house of health issues and an indicator for longevity, Rahu causing unexpected events to his longevity. I think he was 82 years old. So very interesting chart. I think Mars is maybe one of the stronger planets that gave him the drive and ambition and courage and passion to amass a large amount of wealth. But then, and Rahu may have boosted that, but then at some point all got taken away. So what can we do to strengthen this chart? So we want to strengthen Mars, Venus, Sun, Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter. It could be done with gemstones or a kavash, which is a protective shield or a locket containing the Devata yantras for those planets. That would have helped his health, that would have helped his morality, and he still was quite a brilliant man, so he probably would have been successful anyway without the weak morality. Then we want to transform Rahu, Ketu, and Moon. Moon by helping women, which he probably did some of that, mitigating influence. He was involved in many charities. And then we want to transform Rahu by helping those who cannot help themselves, Ketu by helping spiritual organizations, and then chants for all three, like Ganesh chants for Ketu, Shiva chants for Rahu, and Moon. So those are the main points of the chart. Thank you for listening. If you're interested in getting a Vedic astrology reading, you can go to vastucreations.com under the astrology section. And then you can learn transformation of Vedic astrology if you go to American Institute of Vastu.com, and you can also get certified in that program. Thanks again for listening. See you again soon.